Welcome to MS Mathematics, your personal space for simple explanations about math. In this video, I will show you everything you need to know about parabolas and quadratic functions. We will go through the basic form of a quadratic function, look at how a parabola can be shifted and how it can be stretched or compressed. You will also learn how to read the vertex directly from the function. The general form of a quadratic function. We start with the standard form of a parabola, called the basic parabola. Y equals x squared. The parabola opens upward and has its vertex at the origin, o, or 0, 0. When we talk about a quadratic function, we usually mean a function in the form y equals a, parenthesis open, x minus d squared plus e. The values a, d, and e determine specific properties of the parabola. What do the parameters do? If a is bigger than 0, the parabola opens upward. If a is less than 0, the parabola opens downward. The expression x minus d shifts the parabola along the x-axis. A negative d shifts the parabola to the right. A positive d shifts the parabola to the left. The value e shifts the parabola along the y-axis. A positive e shifts the parabola upwards by e units. A negative e shifts the parabola downwards by e units. Let's look at this in an example. The example is y equals x plus 4 squared. Here the parabola is shifted 4 units to the left. The plus sign inside the parentheses means we shift left. The vertex is minus 4 and o. Why is that the case here? We could also look at this as y equals x minus 4 squared. Since minus and minus turns into plus, we can deduce from that or understand that the d was negative. That's why the normal formula being x minus d, and d negative turns into x plus d in this case. So, as we discussed before, a negative d shifts the parabola to the left. Now let's look at vertical shifts. It's pretty simple here. So a plus 2 shifts the parabola upwards, so basically positive 1. And a minus 4 shifts it down 4 units. Looking now at the compression or the stretching of a parabola. Y equals 2x minus d squared plus e. The 2 is larger than 1, which means that the parabola is stretched. If the a, let's say the number at the beginning of the formula, is less than 1, it means that it is compressed. Now let's look at this in a combined example. Minus 7 x minus 4 squared plus 3. We can see here directly the 7 is larger than 1, so this is a very stretched parabola. Next we can see that the d is positive, so we know it shifts to the right. E is equal to 3, nothing else to add there. It just means that it's shifted upwards by 3 units. And we get to a vertex of 4 and 3. Remember, the a decides, let's say the sign of the a decides if the parabola is shifted upwards or downwards, and also if it's stretched or compressed. The d moves the parabola left and right, and the e upwards and downwards. If you understand these basic principles, you can draw any parabola and read its vertex directly. In my other videos, I will also explain how to complete the square to convert a quadratic function into vertex form when it's not already written in that way.